What was a time someone assumed something about you that was completely wrong? I was at a dinner party and people kept offering me drinks that I continued to decline. Eventually one woman's eyes lit up as she looked between me and my husband, and then she asked, "Oh my gosh, are you pregnant?" Everyone around us got quiet, and I laughed and said, "No, I have epilepsy." I was handed no more glasses of wine after that. Had a friend I was crushing on that I felt liked me too. We were talking online one day, and he had to go to work. He says I'll barrels and then get to spend more time with my favorite Asian. I asked, "Who's that?" For as long as I knew him, he thought I was Asian. Once he found out I wasn't, he ghosted me. Eater, just to say, I'm Hispanic American lol. Enough PPL were wondering. I figured it was a good enough reason to add it here. Bit of context for this one. I'm a dude, and for my last 2 years of high school, I attended an all-girls school. In my region, after your 5 years of high school is up, you can do 2 extra years called 6th form in order to take the Cape Caribbean Advanced Proficiency exam. So the school would take in one boy a year for 6th form. I was the second boy they ever took. So naturally, some weird rumors were spread about me. One day while I went to the art lab to grab something, a teacher pulled me aside. I was a bit worried because I hadn't done anything. What follows is a very uncomfortable conversation where I learn there's a rumor that I said I don't like black girls. I tell her that I've never said that, and that was pretty much the end of that conversation. One of the weirdest conversations I've ever had. I am 26, almost 27, and female. I am 4'11", and have resting nice face. People either baby me or are awful to me because they think I am a teenager. People constantly ask me what grade I am going into. I get into places for free sometimes, or at kids' price, especially if I am with my family and my nieces and nephews are present. It is a blessing and a curse, but people assume a lot about me. I like it. I am often underestimated. I started at a new high school my junior year. For starters, I looked like a hippie. I have very long wavy hair and dressed pretty boyish. Everyone, including the school administrators/nuns, assumed I was a drug dealer of sorts. I had never even seen weed or any drug at that point. I got a rare dorm lawyer who chosen for our school's monthly drug tests several months in a row and periodically thereafter. People constantly ask me for hookups or where to find hookups. On the plus side, the other hippie types gravitated and became some lifelong friends of mine, though their proximity to me was still suspicious at the time. Edit. Thank you so much for the awards, fam. For anyone wondering, this was a Catholic school in the south of USA. I cannot remember what happened if you tested hot, but I am guessing it depended on how much money your family gave to the school or church. I was a scholarship kid, so I would have been *SCREWED*. My ex-wife was convinced I had another family in another state. Simply because she heard a kid's voice in the background when I was traveling for work and sitting in a restaurant once. During divorce depositions, I once spent a full day being questioned, and half the questions were slightly different wordings of our reason. You have another family/child/spouse/kid/dependent/etc. Around the holidays my students often wish me Happy Hanukkah. The exchange usually follows this pattern. Student, Happy Hanukkah, Professor. Me, thanks, Happy Hanukkah. Student, oh, I'm not Jewish. Me, neither am I. But thanks for the sentiment. Happy holidays. I'm a college teacher in a Brooklyn school, so a lot of my students simply assume I'm Jewish. That I'm clever, because I like to read and wear glasses. Then they see my grades, and are really surprised. Edit. Thank you for the silver. My first. I will pass it on. Before my high school prom I went to get my hair done. Pretty sure my hairdressers assumed I couldn't speak Spanish because I was white, but I was fluent. They spent my whole appointment worrying aloud about how my hair was so straight there was no way it would stay curled all night. They were right. It's really straight. Throughout the appointment I would wait a few minutes after they spent some time worrying about it and say something like, I know my hair is really straight and I don't expect it to stay perfect. This is great. I didn't want them to be stressed about it and I didn't want to make them uncomfortable if they realized I could understand everything they were saying. One time in Japan I asked an old lady for directions in Japanese. I was still a beginner, but I tried my best to speak in their language rather than asking stuff in English. So this lady assumed I spoke very good Japanese and started chatting. I tried telling her I couldn't understand and everyone else on the bus was trying to hide their laughter. The conversation went on for 10 minutes and I still have no idea what she was saying. She was very nice though.